Welcome back to True Crime Kenya. Tonight we revisit a wound that never fully healed. A political assassination so brazen, so devastating, that Kenya still feels its echo more than half a century later. This is the story of Tom Joseph Mboya, 1930-1969, the dazzling, sharp-witted visionary whose life was extinguished on a Nairobi sidewalk, leaving a young nation staggering under the weight of what might have been. A meteor in the Kenyan sky. Tom Mboya wasn't just brilliant, he had presence, that rare electricity, a charisma that filled a room before he even stepped inside. Born on Rusinga Island, he rose from humble beginnings through sheer discipline, intellect, and vision. By his early 20s, he was a prominent labor union leader. By 30, he was shaping national policy. By his mid-30s, foreign governments, scholars, and future presidents knew his name. Mboya was globally connected, educated abroad, and intolerant of mediocrity. He pushed for industrial growth, championed workers' rights, and organized the historic airlifts that sent hundreds of East African students to universities in America, including a young economist named Barack Obama Sr. He was not just a politician, he was a symbol of hope, progress, and the promise of a modern Kenya, and dreams like that often attract enemies. Whispers in the corridors of power. As Mboya's influence grew, so did resentment. The political climate of the late 1960s was tense, a fragile mix of ethnic loyalties, shifting allegiances, and quiet suspicion. He was young, popular, and seen as a potential successor to the presidency. Some admired him, others feared him. Rumors swirled that he had become too big for comfort, knew too much, or shone too brightly. Even the sharpest intellect cannot foresee every danger. 1st July 1969, the day hope fell silent. Nairobi was warm that Friday afternoon. Matatus honked, businessmen hurried, shoppers drifted in and out of stores along Government Road, today Moi Avenue. At around 1 p.m., Mboya stepped out of Chani's pharmacy, a small paper bag in hand. He smiled at passers-by, neat suit, polished shoes, quiet confidence. Nothing hinted at the horror about to unfold. Nyenga, his assassin, had been waiting. He followed Mboya along the pavement. He positioned himself to blend into the lunchtime crowd. Concealed under his jacket, a Czech-made Cheska pistol, the weapon that would change Kenyan history. No argument, no warning, no time. A single, precise shot rang out. Mboya staggered, collapsed, and chaos erupted. People screamed, cars swerved, women fainted, men shouted for help that wasn't coming fast enough. Nyenga did not flee immediately. He stepped back, lowering the gun calmly, almost mechanically, before attempting to walk away. But witnesses alerted police, and he was apprehended the same afternoon, with the pistol, ammunition, and personal items linking him to the crime. The shocking twist. When questioned, Njenga gave the line that would haunt Kenya forever. "Why don't you go ask the big man?" He never named this big man, never explained his motive, and took that secret with him to the grave. The courtroom drama in Njenga's trial was tense. Spectators squeezed onto benches. Journalists stood shoulder to shoulder. Kenya was holding its breath. Prosecution evidence, the Cheska pistol, ballistics proving the bullet that killed Mboya came from it, eyewitness testimony, and Njenga's presence at the scene. Defense argued mistaken identity, political framing, and a planted weapon. Njenga offered no defense. He remained silent, motionless, staring ahead. His lack of cooperation spoke louder than any words. Weeks later, the judge delivered the verdict: guilty of murder. Sentence: death by hanging. For the court, justice was served. For the public, the questions remained. Who ordered him? Who was the big man? The silence was louder than the gunshot. A nation in mourning. Mboya's funeral drew thousands. Men wept openly. Women beat their chests. The crowds stretched as far as the eye could see. His widow, Pamela, clutched their children, bewildered, heartbroken, robbed. Kenya had not just lost a leader, it had lost a future, rewritten on that pavement. R.I.P. Tribute, Tom Mboya, 1930-1969. Rest in peace, Tom Joseph Mboya, visionary, modern thinker, patriot, architect of Kenya's labor movement, key figure in post-independence policy, champion of education whose airlift program changed thousands of lives, a leader whose charisma and intellect inspired generations. Your death was a national heartbreak. Your vision endures. Your courage inspires. R.I.P. Tom Mboya. Gone, but never forgotten.